What's up, prospectors? Dig Daddy out here in the shed, bringing you another episode of Backyard Prospecting, and today we are checking out a bag of dirt from Brads Bukit. So, let's go!
Shed in the back, old dreams in the dark. Dig Daddy's out there with a fire in his heart. Paydirt on the table, sifting through the night. Glitter in his eyes, everything feels right. Hand in the water, fingers in the mud. Buckets full of promise, gold in the blood. Gear on the bench, tools of a trade. Hustling through the silence, riches to be made.
All right, let's do this. So, we got it right here, a bag of dirt delivered to us via USPS in the flat rate padded bag. Inside the package, we have a bag of dirt. Now, the one that I picked up was the 1/4 gram guaranteed. There's a couple other goodies in here. I also picked up another bag, his stocking stuffer. Totally forgot about grabbing it and did not stick it in my stocking. It's just a little pinch here, so maybe we'll go through that on a Monday, see what's in it. Also in the bag, one of these little gold foil $100 bills. I don't know how much these are actually worth or if there's really any real amount of gold in here. But it's a cool little novelty. I will add it to my gold bill collection. Also, we got a sticker, little gold nugget doing a little dance. Boom, right there. There's a groovy little nugget. And a card reminding me who I bought from. Brads Bukit, Paydirt. Here's some info for you guys if you want to reach out to them. Boom. All right. So let's take a look at the description page just to get an idea of what this dirt's all about. Put this up for you so you can read along. Now, first off, I paid $44.99 for the bag and the description. This is for when you have that panning craving but don't want to break the bank. 0.25 grams of gold are added to over 1 pound of dirt from the bucket. The bucket is a mixture of local dirt from southern Ohio and his own mailbox tailings. This is more of the I need to relax this afternoon kind of bag and is very popular. You may also find some small garnets, peridot pieces, iron pyrite, or even a quartz point. Basically, whatever shiny things his magpie brain toss in. Gold will range from 0.10 mesh down to sub 20. All right. So there you go. Very straightforward, very direct about what his dirt is. It's a mixture of his own pay dirt and some of his tailings, probably just to fill out the space. It's all new dirt to me, so there we go. The bag itself, very, very sturdy bag, very well sealed, and it did also ship within a Ziploc. So he double bagged it, awesome there. And it's an extremely well strong bag here. So, kind of looking through the bag a little bit, I do see some collections of heavies, some very dark sands here at the bottom where they all settled. So this is going to be probably a bit of a challenge, is from what I'm seeing. Now, all the material looks to be pretty small, no big giant rocks, no boulders in there. So this should be easy enough to classify, and it looks dry. So let's head over to the bench and start sifting this out. And then we'll run it down the sluice and see what it's all about. So we'll see you there. All right. We're here on the bench. Yay. Let's grab our little buckets. And then we'll cut into this. Shake everything down. All right, so there we go. There's our dirt right there. Let's turn on the light so you guys get a better view of it. Get it out of the shadow. Zoom in. So this is what we're working with here. Looks like just a lot of small and smooth river pebbles and whatnot. So looks like some fun. Should be pretty easy. All this roly-poly stuff should flow down the sluice without a problem. I think I'm just gonna classify it down to 2 levels. I'm gonna split it at the 20, so everything above 20 and everything below 20 will go to their separate spaces. And then we'll just start running it down the sluice. All right. So as always, we're gonna listen to some tunes and speed things along. Let's get to it.
Got a cardboard box on the table, brown tape, your name in black ink. Little shovel leaning by the back door, mud on my boots, too tired to think.
All right, welcome back. We got our dirt all sifted up. Now I originally was gonna just break it down to 2 classifications. As I got into it, I found the 10 and the 20 was just overwhelming. There was a lot of both. So I went ahead and at least split those 2 up. The 240s, sub 40, or sub 20, above 40, sub 20, and sub 40. Still a smaller amount down here. Now this is where I consider really our gold-bearing pay dirt, the small stuff, because that's usually where the small flakes and stuff wind up. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes today. But what you're looking at here is a lot of material spread amongst the higher classifications. The 1/4 inch did not wind up with a lot, just a sampling of what we're working with, so not bad there. I'm curious though, there's a lot of magnetics in this material. If you look at this right here, you already can tell. I'm curious if any of these big rocks. Nope, no such luck. All right, well, let's take a look at what we got here. In the plus 10, we got a crap load of material. It goes up all the way up to the first riffle, fills it all the way in here in the pan. A good amount of material. Hopefully there's some gold in here, otherwise this is kind of a waste. Not a whole lot in there. Not a whole lot at all. Actually, there is a lot of really small. Look at what that's doing. That's crazy, huh? Really super fine black sands in here. I don't know if this sand is naturally heavy in black sands or if that's an added, but this is what we wound up with here in the plus 10. Not a whole lot, not too bad, but it's just really weird to get that powdered magnetics off of it like that. Here, we'll dump that back in the 40 where it probably belongs. It's like graphite. All right. Plus 20, little less material. Goes about halfway up that first riffle here in the pan. I always want to call this a sluice. I don't know why. But here we go. This is what we got in the plus 20. About the same. A little less material. Quite a bit less material, actually. About maybe half. A little more than half. Which we generally expect to see it the other way around. More material as we go down, not up, not going up. Because if it's going up, it's a waste. All right, there you go. There's the heavy magnetics in the 20. A few of their own size. And again, that powdered stuff that came through. Kind of weird. But it's gonna stay where it's gonna stay, you know? But that's what we're working with the plus 20. I'm gonna put these over here. All right, here's our stuff. And as you can probably tell, that stuff is full of magnetics, or black sand anyways. We'll see how magnetic it is. Oh man. This is brutal. This is brutal. You gotta warn people of shit like this, man. This is brutal. I would say, man, I'm gonna have to take the rollie to this to get this black. I'm not running this like this. This is insane. I've already got a full beard. Just this little corner right here, I've got a full beard of black sand. Put that down. Just need a... Another full beard. Boom. And I'll probably pull 3 or 4 more. Now a full beard is roughly about 15 grams of magnetic material. When I say a full beard, that's what I'm talking about is my little face right here. When it's all the way around, that's what I call a full beard of magnetic. And these magnetic sand removers, they hold about 15 grams per pull if you really cake it on. And this is definitely pulling full. That's 3. 4. Look how light the material got since I started removing it. There's at least one more in here. 5. No, 6. I'll have to recount on the replay. But my point being, 6 or 7 full beards, that's about 15 grams per. You do the math, because I'm not going to. But I can translate it to normal speak for you. That's a lot of black sand. Look how much actual material is left behind after that cleanup. Probably 100 grams of black sand right there. That's a lot. So, I'm not running that down the sluice. That's silly. But that's a lot of black sand. So be forewarned. Be forewarned. There's a lot of black sand in this material. Now, just to save my own sanity, I'm going to clean it out a little bit. And to do that, I'd like to use a specific tool. If I can find it. Where's my drill driver? Oh, I know where it's at. Man, this tool is really cool. All right, let me find a place to dump this, because this is obviously going to be a feature of the material. Look at that. It's crazy. All right. I'm going to finish this up, and then we're going to get all this dirt nice and wet and start running it down the sluice. So don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. We got the gold, the dirt all wetted up. Sluice is all ready to go. Well, now it is. Just scrub down some of the dust that's on there. We're running the V1 original micro mat. The original. I found my old one in a box, so I decided to throw it back on there. I always like the color. It's kind of a teal blue. All right. So the sluice is ready to go, the dirt is ready to go, I'm ready to go, and I got a shovel. So let's grab some dirt and get going. As always, I'm going to throw on some tunes for you. Check out the new video, new tunes. And for me, I'm going to go listen to the old tunes. All right, so let's get to it.
Southern dust under my fingernails, old tailings from the mailbox tree. I stir it all up in this beat-up bucket, pour your slow afternoon away. Brads Bukit, Paydirt, shake that pan, watch it shine. You ain't gotta strike it rich to buy yourself a little time. Quarter-gram glitter and a pound of everyday grind. Brads Bukit, Paydirt, cheap gold, peaceful mind. Maybe you'll catch a flash in the gravel, big flake, tin mesh, feel that grin. The tiny specks, like late night worries. You wash and wash till they grow thin. I toss and odds and ends, I'm keeping whatever shiny thing I find, like my magpie brain.
All right, dirt's all run, and we're all ready to see what we got. Let's take a sneak peek over here. Zoom in. All right, yeah, I definitely see some chunkies and some itty bitties. Sitting here in the gold zone. So let's get this cleaned up and see if we can find our gold.
Got a rest left a few treasures behind. Ice bucket, pay dirt, shake that pan, watch it shine. You ain't gotta strike it rich to buy yourself a little time. Quarter-gram glitter and a pound of everyday grind. Brads Bukit, pay dirt, cheap gold, peaceful mind.
All right, we found that gold, and there it is. Looking nice, looking shiny, and we're gonna get this snuffered up, dry it out, and weigh it up, and we'll be right back with that. But ain't that pretty? All right, let's go. All right, welcome back. We got this gold all dried up, and we're ready to weigh it out. Miner Bob and the Ass are hanging by because they want to check it out too. Hello. So we got this gold and all these other nifty inclusions. while I was digging through that dirt, I found a few little sapphire blueberries. Pretty cool if the camera would focus on them. There we go. Just some little itty bitty tiny sapphires. No real value to them. Can't really do anything with them, but they sure are cool to see in Paydirt. All right, let's get to it. We're ready to go. Gold's ready to go. Let's see how much we found. All right. In that bag of dirt, we yielded 0.265 of a gram of gold. So just a little bit over a quarter of a gram. 0.265. We're going to lock that in. And all right. Nice. Very nice. If only I could find, oh, there it is, my notepad, so I can write some numbers down, do some math. 0.265. All right. So I'm going to take a few pictures of what we found, and we'll be right back with my final words and ROI. All right, welcome back. So, I hope you like those pictures. That pretty gold was really nice to check out, and all the other stuff that was included as well. Let's go ahead and talk about the dirt, and then we'll move on to the gold. The dirt itself was all, looked like pretty natural rivery type sands and whatnot in there. There was a lot of black sand, really super fine black sand, oddly enough. So I think that was added to the material. It didn't feel natural with how dusty it was compared to everything else. It was almost like it was run through a ball mill and then added in. Very fine, very super dusty black sands. You don't really come across that very often, where it's almost like graphite. The magnetics. But if you can remove that, the dirt's super easy to go through. If you can't, it's going to provide quite a bit of a challenge, and it's going to messy up your pan like no other. It's going to be really dusty, black sand, black dust in there. So just be ready for that. Be ready to help yourself uncover it. Have a magnet nearby, regardless of which way you wind up going through it. Myself, I don't like that much magnetic material going into my recirculating system, especially if it's light like that, because it could float, and then when it drops, it gets sucked up by my pump. So I need to remove all that before getting down with it. But take your own setup into consideration. If you're panning it out, no worries. It's just a challenge. If you're recirculating, you might want to pull that stuff out of there before it goes down your sluice. At any rate, it was pretty easy to go through once that was removed. And there was a lot of little garnets in there, and the surprise of the little blueberry sapphires was pretty cool. I wasn't expecting them, and then when I started seeing these really bright flashes of blue, I got excited and was like, oh, that's cool. Let me grab that before it gets washed away. I was able to catch 3 of them out of the pan as I was going through it. There may have been 1 or 2 more in there. I might have to go through and sift through the dirt just to find that. But very cool. Definitely like seeing those pop up from time to time, because they're really cool to check out. But overall, the dirt was pretty solid. Let's talk about the gold. The gold is all pretty much small chunkies, not too much super fine stuff, but there was definitely some in there. So it's not going to have you chasing too much. If you leave the black sand in there, you're definitely going to have to chase, and it's probably not going to be too much fun with the finer pieces. But overall, really nice gold, really liked it, and I'm going to dump that off into one of these vials here to share with the next person. But overall, really nice gold, and really appreciated it. Let's go ahead and look at the numbers. I paid $44.95 for that bag of dirt. There was no shipping, no tax, $44.95 out the door to my door. What we wound up finding out of the 0.25 guarantee was 0.265, so just a hair over that guaranteed amount. So definitely good there. Now that has a today value of $36.91 for an ROI of about 82%. And that's pretty damn good. 82% is a solid ROI. And I had a lot of fun going through the dirt. I don't think the only real thing I would suggest, recommend, is tell people on your description if you're going to put this much and this kind of black sand in your pay dirt. Or if it's naturally in it, that's fine too. But you got to let people know, because this kind of pushes it into a more of an expert level. Really cool stuff overall. And but a little warning, a heads up would have been nice on the thickness of the black sand in the lights. But overall, had a good time going through it, so no complaints at all. I got another bag of his to go through, the little stocking stuffer. We might check this out on one of the live shows, just to change up what we do. But overall, I'm sure that's going to be a lot of fun to go through as well. So I will put a link down below to his website. Looks like he's all sold out for right now, but keep an eye out there. Or shoot him an email. Maybe he can make you up something special if you're eager and you don't want to wait. But definitely I'll leave a link down below for you to check that out. And I recommend checking it out. There's some randomness to it. Apparently he's a magpie and likes to throw random stuff in his bags. And he definitely threw some extras in here, like this cool gold foil bill, some stickers, and of course those little blueberries I was mentioning before. So go check it out. Brads Bukit. It's not bad. So there you go. And of course, don't forget to check me out, backyardprospecting.com. In the prospector shop, I sell stuff, and there's a link to the swag shop if you want to get some cool backyard prospecting swag, like t-shirts, jackets, hoodies, tees, shorts, socks, panning aprons, negligees for the lady, onesies for your babies. I got you covered, quite literally. So go check that out in the swag shop. Otherwise, that's all I got for you. Don't forget to tune in Monday nights for the live show, 5 p.m. Pacific, BSing in the shed. And again, next week for whatever review or video we wind up posting. Until then, this is Dig Daddy signing out from the shed. If I don't see you out at the rivers, I will catch you in the backyard. Peace!